Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings. Could not be more excited to be coming to you today with another fresh new episode for you, and it's going to be another amazing guest interview. We are honored to have on Christian Schloegel. This is another interview I've been waiting probably 14 months for, but I've been giving Christian a long time, hard time since this. I think it was literally probably like GAE last year, not last year.
Yeah, it's been like 2021.
Yeah, literally. But it's crazy, man. Life is crazy. I know your schedule's crazy. Just business is booming, and it's awesome to see what you got going on. And I'm just happy we got you on here today and spend a few minutes trying to give back to all the listeners out there and helping somebody else out there grow their business like you have. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Christian, and kind of, if anybody doesn't know about you, how you got started into your business now.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the podcast, Jeremiah. I appreciate it. So a little bit backstory on us for my business. So currently, my name is Christian. I'm 20 years old. I'm in Illinois, just outside of Chicago in the suburbs. And I'm a full-time college student, as well as I have my business, C&I Services. So we provide full service landscape maintenance, installation, and snow removal services, both commercial and residential. In our business, the only thing we really don't do is hardscape installation. Basically do everything else. And that's just where we are. So I started cutting grass back in 5th grade. That was 9 years ago. So this coming year will be my 10th season landscaping and doing maintenance. So it's been a while. And basically throughout, I started in 5th grade cutting grass just for a couple people. Throughout middle school, I started adding additional services like, mulching, hedge trimming, just small stuff. Bought my first stand-on mower when I was in, I think, 7th grade, maybe 8th. I think it was 7th grade. And then throughout, what was it? It was probably 8th grade. I bought my first multi-force, Toro mower, and that allowed me to plow snow because keep in mind, I never had my driver's license for the first half of my business.
Yeah,
I could not drive. So, until I was late freshman year of high school, I couldn't drive. So I would ride my mowers around. So I would, first of all, push the push mower around with the Honda I had. And then after a couple of years, I was able to upgrade to stand-on mower. And then I would ride it around, have a, trailer.
Did you ever ride it to school?
One time I actually did. I did once.
Pulled it up
I did once. Yeah, I actually took a Steiner to school once. That's what it was.
That's funny.
Our tractor. I took the Steiner to school. Made in high school. Made many appearances with my full truck and trailer on the street, taking up 3 parking spots or more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure people hated me for that. So that's the story. Is it started when I was in 5th grade, just cutting grass and just a small thing. And I think I grew from like 3 lawns my first year to 7 second year, 20 the third year, kind of exponential after that.
Mm-hmm.
Until when I got my license, I got a truck and a 350 with a dumper, and I was able to do more landscaping because we were able to haul our own materials. Now, before I was able to drive and had a truck, when I was a freshman in high school, I spent like every single lunch period on the phone with like the mulch supplier, scheduling deliveries for mulch, like for the weekend, or through like after school on a Friday or something. So I spent every passing period responding to clients, whatever it was. I was always working on the business while I was in school between classes, taking advantage of that. So then after school, I could work, with whatever materials I needed because I didn't have my license or a truck yet.
Yeah.
So then, in high school, I started when I got the truck, we grew. We had some part-time guys and started to work with just friends from church youth group, from school, and then from there on, in 2023, or sorry, in 2020 during the pandemic, we basically got out of school in March, in like mid-March, and we just had online school. So I had a bunch of my college age workers come back who were not in school anymore. So we had this like 7 or 8 guys, massive to me at the time workforce. And then I bought a 450 truck with a big dumper on it. And my business grew so much in 2020, especially. And that's how a lot of the other young guys, I think on Instagram and YouTube that you see, did like really take off their business was then, during that time. But especially beginning in 2019, going to 2020, our business grew a lot, and that was a huge learning experience for me. After that, we continued to grow our business each year, pretty good rate, and most recently this year was a really big year of growth for us, both with our service offering and with our equipment and our crew. We This year I added a dingo, a skid steer, and then a 550 with the switch and go on there, and a leaf loader, 2 new trailers. Like, it's been a really big year of growth for us, and really thankful because we've had a really great crew all along. So, and then this year, most exciting for me was this past year, that we started doing a lot more commercial snow removal. So, especially over the last 3 years, in 2020 was when I first picked up, the 2020-2021 winter. I first picked up like my first commercial parking lot, and it was tiny, but I got a plow in my truck, and I was able to go from there. Last year, I put a plow in my other truck, and then I was able to get 4 or 5 more lots, all while maintaining we did 80 or 100 driveways last year each snow. And then this year, I scaled back a little bit on driveways. We only have about 60 or 70 now, but we have about 15 parking lots, and we do a lot of zero tolerance snow removal. So up here, there's a big, it's a good snow removal market where there's a lot of businesses that always want to be open and always want to be safe, and that's what the type of clients that I want, so that we can keep our guys busy throughout the winter. Because it's not like we can do mulch and pine straw and sod in the winter when the ground's frozen. There's nothing to do really for us. So,
do y'all do pine straw?
No,
Oh,
no, we
okay.
remove that stuff and get paid.
That's what I've
I don't know,
always
your
heard.
audience may like do that stuff. So
Yeah. No. Everybody makes fun of me for it. There's
we
most
get paid to
people.
remove that.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Every time I see Brian, he's like, "Hey, I get paid to remove that stuff."
Yeah. Yep.
We get paid a lot of money to put it down. So
Personally, I think it's pretty ugly too. I don't know. It's just so weird. I don't know. It's so weird.
yeah, there's you have to adapt to it for sure. You got to be around it a lot, and when it's done right, it looks all right. But mulch looks a lot better for sure. But anyway, well, that is a really cool story. There's a lot we can unpack there. I think I want to go back in high school, so we don't have to linger on this all day long. But you had the typical dream like startup story of you push the mower around the neighborhood, then you start pulling the trailer, and like you hear that a lot. But the way that you are different is you went from that to running a full-time business with guys working in the field without you while you were still in school, which is not what most people do. Most people push the mower and ride the mower, but then they do it after school every day. They don't run a business while they're in school. And so, like, that's how you're different. That's how you kind of have built your business to where you are today. What did that look like to you? You said you were always in between breaks. You were calling clients and dealing with suppliers and things like that. But how did that mature you also, like, having guys older than you out in the field working while you were in school? Like, what did that look like for you and just your personal life and business as well? I mean, that's just something I've never heard of before.
Yeah, so as I mentioned with freshman year, I was always on the phone with the suppliers during lunch because I didn't have a truck, and that I was more solo that year. Well, I was on weekends and with friends. Then by sophomore year, I had guys part-time working for me during the day when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And that was a huge learning opportunity, and it went fine. We were just doing mainly maintenance and stuff during those times. And over the last couple of years, we've gone more to the installation and I would say, property maintenance and smaller softscaping jobs
Mm-hmm.
than just mowing, because there's a pretty good market around here for a lot of that type of work. And it's just been so natural for me over the years because there's never been like a huge step up, I guess. There obviously there's been a lot of growth, but it's been over quite a long period of time where it's just been natural to me of finding my way to the next step,
Mm-hmm.
because of circumstances. So,
Yeah.
for example, I couldn't drive, so my route density was amazing because I drove my mower, so I couldn't take on stuff that was far. And to this day, we still have very good route density for all of our snow and mowing clients and landscaping jobs. So it's just been natural over the years because I was doing as much as I could with the circumstance, whether it was because I couldn't drive or because I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it's just been kind of natural growth. And yeah, so that's
Yeah.
throughout school, I was very cognizant of kind of recruiting other people who were my age or older to work, and I was able to get a lot of the college guys and other guys who are like in trades. Like we've had some guys who are like firefighters work for us over the years because they have like 24-hour shifts and they have 2 days off a lot of times. So
Yeah.
just I've been just kind of pulling from everywhere I can throughout the years and just piecing together crews, during those years of high school, especially.
Did you ever get any pushback for being young, like for being a younger boss, like younger than your guys that worked for you? Like, I mean, I know a lot of you guys were in, a lot of your people that worked with you were like in school and around the same age, but did you ever have anybody that was significantly older that didn't really respect you or anything like that because you were so young?
I've definitely had I've never I've had some instances, I guess, where honest I've had some instances where people meet me in person and say I'm really young,
Mm-hmm.
but then, the rest of the interaction after me meeting them, let's say, is a very professional quotes and great communication, and the rest of it's seamless. So then it's just like I'm any other contractor, or especially when I was younger.
Yeah.
Um, Once I went from that point where I was known, I still am known as being a young guy in the community who does landscaping, but when I went from that kid who cuts lawns to a landscape professional, I would say is that I just made it such a seamless experience
Yeah.
where the clients never had that issue. And especially when we were in such growth over the pandemic time, I wasn't doing in-person like meetings with clients. Unless it was like an installation job for
Mm-hmm.
maintenance, I would just go walk the property and then send them a quote, and I didn't have an interaction with them in person. So,
Yeah, they didn't know how old you were.
right. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't meet a lot of my clients.
100%.
I don't less than half probably.
Really?
So
Wow, that it. Yeah, we meet more than that. That's pretty cool.
yeah, I would say less than or around half. It just kind of depends on the service.
Yeah.
Obviously, your maintenance clients, you probably know a lot better than for us, like our snow clients, we can get calls.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
is true. Yeah.
and
You're
we're out in
there
the
in the
middle of
middle of the
the
night too. Yeah.
night.
So,
Yeah, probably a problem if they're up at the middle of the night or
yeah.
and we're talking. So, yeah, that's yes, but I think I've done a good job of presenting myself in a way that's professional and makes me look like the next great professional business.
What do you think was there anything specific for you that made your business grow in 2020 other than just people being home, COVID, like how every other business grew? Was there something that like flipped a switch for you? Was it you graduating? What was it that, what do you think maybe propelled your growth?
So I've always been very involved in the community, and because people used to see me walking around with a mower and riding around with a mower, and my maroon truck is hard to miss. I've always been known as the guy in the community who does landscaping, or people always see me. So then when somebody, let's say, somebody talks to him in a conversation, they're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that guy all my life. I just never talked to him." So I've just because I was forced to have such a dense route, I've always been very like well seen in the community, and people think of me. I'm in the Chamber of Commerce.
Mm,
I'm well connected. Through church, through other kids, my school, and throughout high school, and even still, I've always made a point of actually like strategically posting on my Snapchat. So it's like I have a personal Snapchat like any other high schooler does or college guy does, right? But throughout my time, I would always post a little bit of work here and there, just so I can always keep in the back of the my like friends or everybody who's following me on Snapchat's heads that remember that I do landscaping and snow.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had probably 30 or 40 people in my life reach out to me from just like because they knew I did do service.
Yeah, yeah.
And I probably had 10 people plus reach work for me just because they knew that I did landscaping. So it's been like a strategic way of me putting just kind of putting something in the back of everybody's heads when they think of landscaping, they think of me.
I hear you. That is a cool. It's a cool system that you got going there. Snapchat's something that's pretty. I've never really heard of it being done like that, but I think it's cool. Like it's kind of a soft, just like here, we're just posted every once in a while. Then they remember.
Exactly. Yeah, and I've been doing it for almost half my life that it's just been like people know it at this point. This is going into year 10 in 2023 of me doing service. And it's just once you're around for that long, not that I was anything special when I was young, but I was young, so my name became really well traveled around, and still is around like Facebook group chats with like all
Mm-hmm.
the moms in the community,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like on Nextdoor and stuff like that. I'm all over that stuff.
Well,
So,
tell me about how important is it to you, the community involvement? So you have extremely tight routes. You're in a very small area that you do all your work in, and you do a lot of work. Like you're not generating five $50,000 projects. You're generating a bunch of smaller local,
yeah, like
not
a
two
lot
thousand.
of under $10,000
Yeah,
projects.
yeah, you're doing a lot of those. And so what is the importance of community involvement for you? Because you're not in like six different communities. You're in one area. And what does that look like as far as I know you said you mentioned being in the Chamber of Commerce there, but what else do you do? Do you involve with the school systems? Like what does that look like for you and getting the business name out there and being involved in the community?
So throughout the especially over the last since 2019, which was one of my first really big years of business growth, um, I've been involved with multiple local initiatives, like for example with like a food bank. We donate one year we donated like 10% of our revenue of aeration to the food bank.
Mm,
And then we've also done other sponsorships like with mission trips and other like efforts, I guess, in the community.
yeah.
And also like on the back of my business card, I have all of the like community involvement that I have in my community, and stuff I've personally done as well. Like if I've been on a committee or I've been as part of something, like in high school, there was like a youth like involvement group at the food bank, stuff like that. So um, it's it's been a lot of that, and then just being in the community, going to whatever, going to the Christmas walk, going to other stuff like that, not like giving back per se, but being
Just
part
showing
of the
up.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah, showing up and making your like being seen.
Mm,
There's a friend of mine who's had a very, very successful landscaping business, and twice a year I'll go into Starbucks with him and get coffee. And every time he sees two or three people there
mm,
and that know him, hey, George, how's the business?
yeah.
Hey, I need my office building needs maintenance, whatever. So it's just being well traveled in the community and being present.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. Do you think do you think that's helped you a lot? Like, not only are you doing that, are you doing that for null and void, or do you think that actually has made a difference for you?
Definitely. I mean, I don't like I'm like we are in basically two towns that are small,
Yeah.
less than, there's like 10 and 15,000 people in each town. It's small.
Wow.
And we have nice property. I mean, this is basically where we are. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you see us every day, if you're out, you're gonna see us somewhere.
Yeah.
You're really gonna see us. So it's just that's just how it's
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
Like we don't travel more than unless it's like a larger project. We'll definitely go, over 5 miles. But our landscaping, our maintenance route's like within 3 miles from
That's
one end to the other.
insane. That is insane.
Yeah.
Um,
we're fortunate to have really nice properties around here, though.
Yeah.
And people who are willing to invest in their landscape. But yeah, I was kind of forced to have good route density when I was younger, and just carried it on after. And I'll have other like companies like approach me like, hey, why aren't you going out here? Like, I'll send you leads.
Hmm.
I'm like, there's plenty of work here to be
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah. No need to leave. I tell you, you've done so much growth in the past 2 years. What does that look like as far as reinvesting in your business? You're a single dude. You're in school, or you're growing up, and I mean, we're not that far apart. I'm 23, so we're still pretty close. I just turned 23. Really, we're 2 years apart,
Wow. Yeah.
and it's cool to see somebody my age doing something so big, or a little younger than me, literally younger than me, doing something so big. What does it look like in reinvesting for you? How have you? Do you think your equipment purchases have been like key to your growth? What I mean, I know you mentioned you got your multi-force and you've added a lot on this year to the switch and go system, things like that. But how important has reinvesting been, and how have you done it as well? Has there been a strategy of no debt versus leveraging debt, or what does that look like for CNI services? Well, guys, thanks for tuning into the show today, and I'm so excited to be bringing to you a new live event in our industry. It's called Synced Live. It's the second annual event, and it's going to be on February the 6th and the 7th of 2023 at the Cobb Galleria in Atlanta, Georgia. Some of the leaders that are going to be speaking at this event from our industry are Jim McCutcheon, Deborah Cole, Mike Haynes, Jay Worth, Joe Langton, and many more. There's literally probably 10 more on this list that I'm not even reading, so there's going to be a ton of value packed from speakers there. There's also going to be education topics going on in and around the booth at the event. They're going to be talking about recruiting and retaining employees, innovation, automation, and the ROI of automation. There's going to be tons of stuff on that. There's also going to be 70 plus vendors. Now, you don't want to go to a trade show and not see vendors. So like we said, 70 plus vendors. There's going to be vendors pertaining to porcelain paving, natural stone paving, walling systems, smart measurement, robotic mowers, tech, software, everything in between. It's going to be full of value and full of great vendors and exhibits that we get to go look at and try things out for our business and see how we can make our businesses better in the future. So, like I said, it's our second annual event, Synced Live, February 6th and 7th in Atlanta, Georgia. The 6th is a half a day of the show. The full day is on the 7th, on Tuesday. I can't wait to be a part of this. I can't wait to show up and be there and network, hang out with all of you guys. This is my first year going. If you've never gone, if you didn't go last year, make it out this year, Atlanta, Georgia. It's well worth your ticket price just for the education alone, not even to mention all the vendors and things you're going to get to see and the networking you're going to get to do. So come out and see us in Atlanta on February the 6th and the 7th at Synced Live, Cobb Galleria. We can't wait to see you there. Now let's get back to the show.
Oh, definitely. So, the equipment has allowed me to grow so much because over whether it's the first truck, the second truck, like everything that we have is all the equipment I have is extremely purpose oriented. And you'll notice like our trucks, my 450 and my 550 truck are very long. They're very big trucks, and I always get comments on Instagram, you can't plow with that truck. That thing is way too long. What do you need that big of a truck for? And all like the trucks are built to what we need specific to us. So our 350 is nimble. It has a dumper in it. It's great. It's small, but it gets us to the nimble areas. Our other trucks are capable of holding 6 people and 12 plus yards of material in each truck. The equipment, I've reinvested like everything, like really, I have very low personal life expenses because I'm living at home and I have a scholarship for college and I work. That's all I do.
Well,
so
and you're being smart with your money. I mean, that you're just smart. You don't have to. That's the thing, is like you don't have to live at home. You don't have to have a scholarship. Like you're just choosing to do the right thing and save your money and reinvest in your company. I mean, that has it been hard to do? Has it been hard to not go buy something nice? Because I mean, you're seeing profits come in. Like you're growing a business. When you see those come in, is it hard to like, man, should I reinvest or should I go buy this, or what does that look like?
Not really, because obviously it's always hard to not spend money, but for me, it's not that difficult because I see the vision, and even like like I want that next, like I've wanted a skid steer for years. It's always been
Yeah.
a goal of mine. And this year I got a skid steer and a dingo and a new truck, and it's just like that type of stuff is so motivating. It's like the growth that's so like entrepreneurs are obsessive about is
Hmm.
growth. And I just it just I love I love the industry. I love growth, and I love growing our business. And reinvesting has been so key to our operation. I
Mm.
mean, we've been renting roll-off dumpsters for side jobs for the last couple of years. I've been renting skid steers. I've been renting dingoes. It's all money that's going out the window to somebody else's dream at the rental shop compared to
Hmm.
me. If I when I was able to buy the equipment, it's going straight to our bottom line. I'm adding assets to the business. The business value is growing, and we always have it on hand. So reinvesting has been extremely key for us, and it's been why we've been able to grow and do and continue our service offering. Growing our service offering is because of that.
Do you mind me asking, have you done it? Have you leveraged that to help you grow, or have you built a cash business?
Yes. So with with the for my first my first two mowers, I used that for those when I was younger. I was able to get some good financing, 0% because I was like what, 14, so I was able to get something my parents helped me out with
Yeah,
setting
yeah.
that up. I still made the payments obviously, but because I was so young, I had to go through like my parents to have that account.
Hmm.
And then other than that, I've been able to cash flow a lot of the trucks
Wow.
and
It's awesome.
uh yeah, I have I have used that. I think that's extremely good. Debt is very helpful.
Hmm.
I think it if you're not I think if you're not using good debt, then you're can be missing out on something because it allows you to take your equipment and efficiency to the next level with using somebody else's money, and then
Yeah.
you can grow faster to get to that point. So I'm a big proponent of that. I think it's very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. That's it's interesting. Everybody, it's a heated topic. A lot of people will say yes and no. A lot of people build businesses debt free. I'm a big proponent of, hey, if you use it the right way, if you use it for something that's going to generate you revenue, then I don't really see an issue with it. But it's interesting to see how everybody operates. You say y'all don't do any hardscapes. Is that something you think you'll work into your business ever, or do you don't really have an interest in getting into it?
Possibly eventually. I've been saying for years that I've been interested in getting to it eventually. We do hardscape maintenance, so like we'll do pressure washing, polymeric sand, we'll seal them. We'll pull them up and reset them, but it's not like a passion of mine.
Yeah.
And there's from what I've seen is with hardscaping is I don't want to do something that's like half effort, right?
Mm.
When you do hardscape, you gotta stand behind your work for what I don't know, 5 or 10 years,
Yeah.
whatever, however long you warranty your work.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you know what you're doing, and you have to have a lot of equipment that and skilled guys who are just sitting on that job
Mm.
for weeks on end or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot involved with it where I kind of enjoy like fast paced moving job to job. Okay, sod job this day. Next day we're planting, 20 arborvitae. The next day we got 2 days of mowing, and um, it's something I would like to get into eventually, definitely. And I've actually taken this separate. I've taken an aquascape course, so I can do aquascapes if I would like. That may be something I'd be interested in even getting to sooner than hardscape, but I'm still undecided on that, I guess.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to do something that's not, you know, that's not the best it can be because there's so many guys who are so great at doing that I don't want to, it's just it's just not for me yet, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, for sure. No, our podcast with Andy Mulder last week that dropped it was talking about that exactly. He was saying like you need to either be all in or all out. Like
Totally.
you need to know you love it if you're gonna do it. So
Right.
it's
Where our niche has been like 1 to 3 day projects
that's
where
good.
we're doing, planting or sod or like, renovating yard, that type of project where it's like you can still have other projects in the week and you get paid quickly, but you don't need a ton of equipment. You don't have a ton of risk with you're spending a ton of money on, okay, so for a hardscaping job, you're going to spend, whatever, 5, 10, 15 grand on pavers. You got to get paid throughout the way. You got to make sure that you keep your cash flow compared to you do a couple small landscaping projects and boom, you get your 50% deposit up front and you get the rest the next day, right?
Yeah.
It's in and out, and it's really gratifying for us, to see, let's say we're doing a side project, see a lawn that's terrible, bumpy, and not well maintained, and past the point of, being worth to improve it, be totally turned around by the end of the day and look like a ballpark.
Yeah.
So it's just really gratifying, and those types of clients for us have been really vocal proponents for us because it's word of mouth. And I don't think I mentioned this yet, but we are 100% word of mouth referral business. I don't even have a website.
Really?
It's
Wow.
Yeah, I do plan to get a website over this winter into the spring just because I would like to be able to. I want to grow my snow removal, and I want to have and I want to grow more install projects. But we've been totally word of mouth
Yeah.
for forever,
Well,
forever, and our Instagram is not based towards
yeah, it's not
prospective
based towards your
clients.
customers. Yeah.
It's a contractor connect networking platform really. So we're all referrals.
Well, you got to go to Brandon Bull to get your new website with Adam.
About to put my deposit down for him.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's cool, man. It's cool hearing you the way you built your business. I tell you what, I don't want to hold you too long. I know you got things you need to get going and doing today. Let me ask you this though. What are some pieces of advice or just things that you've learned over the past couple of years that you would say to a younger Christian or a Christian that was a year ago? What are things you've learned in business that are just like for guys that are out there that are getting started, or maybe not for the younger guy, just for guys who are inexperienced? And that's why we on the show we talk young in business, because it doesn't matter in age, it just matters in business. And so,
Right.
what are some things you would give to some guys out there like that?
So our key to our growth, which has been I've been happy with, is taking care of our guys and having a great crew. So our crew, we're not able to do anywhere near the volume of work without the guys who work with us
Mm-hmm.
daily, whatever. If they're working every day, if they're working a couple days a week, whatever. We cannot do this amount of work or quality work without our crew. So I've made a huge emphasis on taking care of our crew, having great company culture, and being more than just a job that you go into and then go home and dread going to tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've really invested in our guys with, you know, whether it's like every summer we do like a recreational thing at the end of the summer where I take all the guys to Top Golf and we cover the whole tab for food and the whole night, and that's once a year thing we do. That's just kind of like cool thing. Last year we've done that for 3 years. Last year I took like 7 or 8 guys to a Blackhawks game. So like I've been really investing in my guys. Obviously we do Christmas bonuses. That's just standard, but we like go above and beyond and try to make work not only fun, but something that you look forward to. And fortunately, a lot of my guys are around roughly my age. They're all older than me, or not all, but most of them. But we make it more than just a job,
Yeah.
and something that's not only a job, but also like has growth opportunity for them because rising tide raises all ships, and obviously there's nothing's just all for me,
Yeah.
right? It's just not possible without our guys, and they should be taken care of too. So that's one of the biggest things I've have had heavy emphasis on over the last couple of years, as we've been growing, and I just see the importance of it, and I want to take care of my guys because anybody can go get another buck down the road at another company, but I want to be a difference maker and have a real culture where it's positive and which will lead to continued growth of them bringing in others. And yeah, so that's one of the biggest things, for once you get to that point, if you are out there and having a younger business, once you get to that point of having your crew, I highly suggest that. And the other thing is just knowing your numbers has been super important. So back in 2020, I had a ton of work. I had a bunch of guys who were back from college who were on, working part-time, but we were working a lot. But that year was so busy that, I was sending out estimates left and right, and I was doing well. We made good money, don't get me wrong, but that was a year where I really, at the end of the year, I learned, okay, well, yeah, we did a lot of revenue. We made good money too, but we could definitely do better. And I really started honing in from then on of knowing my numbers, particularly last year when the world was ending in whatever late winter, in the spring when the gas prices were up, diesel was $6 or whatever, and materials are still high. Grass seed has doubled in cost, like everything's more expensive. So I was forced to really hone in on my numbers and knowing my numbers then. And once you get to the point where you have crew, when you have whatever, we have 4 vehicles, we got a lot of equipment for, my size business. You have a ton of insurance costs. There's just you start to get into having a lot of overhead. So you really got to take that into consideration and make sure that at the end of the day, yeah, your gross could look good, but what do you actually,
Yeah. What are you taking
what
home
do
at
you
the end of
have?
the day?
What crumbs are left after
Yeah.
the cookie's gone? So those are the biggest 2 things, I guess, that I think are keys to having a whatever you consider a successful business. And yeah, so
What does CNI look like in 2, 3, 5 years? What do you think?
I would like to continue to grow our crew, and I would like to build a shop. That's a big goal of mine, is to build a shop where we can have a lot of indoor storage.
Yeah.
Um, and then I would like to continue to grow our commercial snow removal operation. Uh, we do a lot of houses and a lot of lots right now, but I want to continue to go to more commercial. And then currently, I haven't talked about it too much, but I am a full-time college student. I'm taking, 16 credits as a full load of college classes. So I'm going into my spring semester in a couple weeks, of my second year. I'm a sophomore, and then I still have, 2 more years after this year. So, once I graduate college, I would like to have a shop by then. That'd be really nice. But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But yeah, just want to graduate college and continue to grow our business throughout, which was always a goal of mine in high school. I'm currently in community college, but then next year, for the next 2 years, I'll be probably an hour or two away from here at a university.
Are you gonna have to go in person?
Yeah, so that's been my goal since high school, was to set it up where by end of this year, which is this, the summer, right? That my business can sustain itself at least throughout the week, and I don't have to be there. I don't plan on going very far, so I can come back on weekends or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'd like it to sustain itself. It could run itself without me. For the operations side, obviously, I plan to continue to do estimates and all that type of stuff, but the operations, I would like to continue to run itself when I'm not there, because I can work all my life. I'm only 20 years old, so I do want to get college done. School's always been a priority for me. I do have, it's really, it's a lot of work, but it's not at the same time, because in high school I was used to being at school all day from 8 to 3. As in college, I'm only in 3 hours of class 3 days a week or whatever. So it's a lot less time commitment than what I was used to. So it's like, for me, it's easier than high school to balance. And I don't see like the big deal about it really. And I was able to get a pretty good scholarship, so I won't have any college debt or anything like that once I'm out of college.
That's awesome, man. Well, that is so cool hearing from a young guy out there who's doing amazing things, crushing the landscape business owner game, crushing the game of entrepreneurship, and it's inspiring to see. And I know a lot of guys will learn from you in this conversation that we had to have today. Where can everybody find you if they want to connect with you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at C&I Services LLC, and I'm on YouTube, C&I Services LLC as well. More active on Instagram is where I do a lot of reels with our content from whatever we're doing that day, and I do a lot of stories, but we're also on YouTube as well.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for your time today and giving back to the community and recording the show with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. If you enjoyed the show, leave us a big 5-star rating and review. Send Christian a message, say thanks for coming on and dropping some value today. I hope y'all have a beautiful day wherever you're at, wherever you're listening. Go out there and crush it. Thanks for supporting us so we can continue to grow the community one relationship at a time. And without any further ado, that's going to wrap this one up, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.